Welcome back. This is Kathy. To be perfectly honest, I did a similar reading, a similar video yesterday, but somehow there was no sound whatsoever. So I'm just going to take that as a sign that that wasn't what it was meant to be. That's not what it was meant to be, or perhaps a clear message can come through, or a message that is meant to be heard and meant to be understood will come through today. So I wanted to read into the energy of what is happening right now in our political system, most especially to what is happening in our Senate around this past few days. Bato's sudden appearance and sudden disappearance, the changing of guards in the Senate, the minority becoming the majority and the other way around, and then the shooting incident, and then the impeachment incident. I want to read the energy for a whole group. I try to avoid reading individual people's energy unless they are they're my clients, or they've given me the permission to do so. So unfortunately, I am not going to read into specific individuals' energy, but perhaps we can read into the energy of groups, no, as a group. So for this specific reading, I selected 3 decks that just spoke out to me today. It's the Dark Moon Oracle, which is actually quite very truthful and quite straight to the point, sometimes too honest. The Time Travels Oracle, that one, just for a variety of cards, places. Also, it has some, I think, some like transitionary points in history. So I felt that would be appropriate. And then the Sacred Rebels Oracle. So for me, this one, it exposes wounds, it exposes emotional truths that are concealed. Okay, so I already shuffled them. Okay, and let's just take a moment to connect with our guides and just ask them to be with us so that we will be able to receive the messages that we are meant to receive, and perhaps receive the messages and insights and wisdom that will help us, right, move forward. Okay, so maybe I will, this is what I thought. Let's get 3 cards, from one from each of these decks to, oops, okay, that flew. That means it wants to be present. To kind of read the energy of the Senate, the current energy of the entire Senate as a body. Okay, so picking the top or the bottom. The bottom here, and the bottom also from another deck. Okay, so let's look at the cards together. Wow. Wow, surprising. Okay. The first card that I opened, it's actually light. Angelic Realm. and very blue. And for me, blue is communication, it's truth, it's candor. And it says 24, that's 6. Okay, it's right there. And then the next card that I turned over is, it says here, free from judgment, free to love, and it's very green. And to me, green is quite healing. And there's a woman there. It's a woman. Both these cards, there are women there. And then the last card here, it says here, achievement. And it's 45. To me, that's number 9. And there's a woman, archer, very focused. She has not yet shot her arrow. She's still setting her gaze on a definite target. And there is a goat there. Immediately, what this is making me feel like, there is an ideal that people probably know. They know what to focus on. But it feels like it's not a clear shot. And there's a lot of, it's not a clear shot. The night is too dark. There's not even enough light from the moon. So we probably cannot see. They probably cannot see where they're going. They kind of have an idea where they should go, but it's not a clear shot. And for me, the indication of a goat, it's like a hard, they will press on, but it's like a hard, treacherous kind of journey. It's not going to be easy. All of these cards depict women. There's something there. It feels like it's going to be driven. Now, the Senate will be driven by the energy of women or female energy. Maybe that's what it needs now. Yeah, it feels like they're at the end of a process. No, they're at the end of one incarnation and going into the next version. But it's not a clear shot. It's not a clear shot. The direction is not quite set yet. Maybe the true north is there, but the path is not clear. The path is not clear just yet. And from these two cards, what can we derive from them? Yeah, it feels like there needs to be a more a reframing of how they speak within the chambers or within their groups. It feels like communication needs to be healing. Some healing communication needs to be present there. And I feel like it's, as we read this, that they are being infused by that energy. Whether they use it or not is another point entirely. But this is where they are. They're kind of at a loss because the rhetoric within the communication has probably broken down. And it feels like, yeah, all of these things, I mean, all of the cards, they're pointing towards women or women, female energy. Yeah, there needs to be more transparency. There needs to be more truth between the senators. And it feels like nothing will move forward unless they become more honest. Nothing will heal unless they speak the truth to each other. But it feels like it is possible that even if they do speak the truth, that because there's so much concealment, like they're not looking towards the same direction. They have different goals in mind. They have different destinations in mind. Yeah, the factions within the Senate, they have different destinations in mind. So the arrow can't fly. It can't fly. It can't move from the starting point. It stays there at the threshold of possibilities, no? And it feels like yeah, it does feel like a dark time. But at the same time, you see there is light at the distance. Perhaps like it's the sun about to come up. Because that's what happens, right? It's always darkest before the dawn. We are almost there. It can become so much better. It has that potential, but it cannot take off. It just cannot take off because they're not looking at the same destination. Like they're rowing in different directions, but they're using the same boat. And so it feels like it's not gonna move. It's not gonna move. And there's so much miscommunication and wounds from miscommunication or damaging words or rhetoric. Okay, so that is the general oracle reading for the energy of the Senate right now. I am doing this in the morning of May 16. Okay, let's read the general energy of the current majority. Yeah, the general energy of the current majority. Okay, let's just... So I randomly picked 3 cards. Okay, first card, transformation. It's in a state of flux. It's not grounded quite yet. It's not on solid ground. It's shifting, and it feels like it's shifting in different directions. It's shifting in different directions, and it's quite moody. Yeah, it's quite moody. The full moon is calling me. What does it mean when it's the full moon? When it's come to its fullness, it's also beginning to wane, right? So I guess that explains the instability, right? The instability. Yeah, it feels like, yes, what they've been suspecting, that it might not stay the majority for long once, yeah. It feels like there's some truth in that. The second card that came out for the majority it's here. Beyond the mind, the heart beats. Beyond the mind, the heart beats. It feels like just to support the confusion here, to support the instability here. This is also, there's a battle between, not right and wrong, the battle between the logical mind and emotions, like passionate, high emotions. See, it's almost equal. You are being drawn to the blue, but at the same time, you cannot deny the red. And there's so much red in the hair, also in the throat. It's quite angry, right? Instead of the blue actually can support communication, but the throat chakra is covered in red. So it feels like the rhetoric comes from a very emotional place. And so the logical mind and the emotions are fighting, and they're not quite imbalance. They're not quite in balance. No, they're not working together. And it feels like ideas it just floats in and out, nothing quite grounded. So quite chaotic, quite chaotic. And then the last card, it says here, unveil. So it feels like a truth will surface. A truth will surface, and the number 4 also for me kind of signals an end. So it feels like something will be revealed within this group that will like unsettle it even more and kind of signal the end of there being majority, is what I feel. It could be that. No, it could be that. Again, it's a woman. It's a very feminine energy. Yeah. So very unsettled energy, not on solid footing. Emotions and logic are always fighting. No idea is quite grounded, and some truth will surface that will kind of end their stake at being majority. Okay, so let's turn to the energy of the minority group. Okay, let's just, okay. So the first, okay. So it feels like they're going to rise back to power. It feels like that. They're going to rise back to power, and yeah, and they might stay a little longer. Longer than the minority, actually. Okay, the second card that came out is Hecate. Okay, so I'm being, what number is that? 33, so repeating number 6. For me, it's also abundance. It feels to me like, even though they seem like they are in the dark, or in a time of dark, they are observing. And it feels like they have, they're quite clear-headed. No, because they look very calm. They look very calm in spite of being in the dark. And they're not scared. They have their own light. It feels like they're very strongly led by internal, something internal. You also see that behind them, there is a fork in the road, but they're not looking at the fork in the road. They're not going towards the direction of separation or big choices, right? They are actually past that. They're coming from a fork and coming towards us into unity. So it feels like the majority will become a bigger group, actually, will become a more unified and bigger group when they come back to power. Okay, and then the last card that came out for the minority, the current minority, is focus on the light. And it's number 37. That is 10. It's completion. For me, this feels like the minority, they have, what this is reminding me, I'm very much focused on the sunflowers. If you've seen videos like of sunflowers in time lapse, they are universally facing the same direction. It's the direction of where the sun is. And it feels like that, like with the majority, they will have like one vision. They have a stronger vision, and it kind of unites them. They might be different people, different personalities. They might have different interests for sure, but somehow they have clarity on where they should be aiming at, or where the direction they should all look towards. Okay. Okay, so far we have for sure a misunderstanding or a not very clear. We have a very strongly divided Senate right now, and they are not, they're looking at different directions. They have different ideas of where they should take this institution, and they were really not communicating quite well. The current minority, the current majority is in a constant state of flux. They don't feel grounded. They're not, I can't say that they're not thinking straight, but it just feels like their logic is in and out and informed with their high emotions. And there's something that will be kind of revealed that will end their stake at being the majority. That's what it feels like. I'm just reading it as is, okay? I'm not saying, I'm just reading it as is. Okay. And then the current minority, it feels like they are just biding their time, but they are consolidating power. They're biding their time. They're quietly lighting their flame. They are observing, right? And they are going to rise to power, and they might stay there much longer. I mean, longer than the minority. And as they will grow in unity, right? They have, it feels like they have more unity. They are looking towards the same direction. Yeah. And it feels like, it feels more grounded. Their energy feels more grounded. It's not informed by too much thinking or too much emotions. It's just a very quiet knowing of like a deep rooted knowing and wisdom of where to go. Just having that sense of this is the direction where we should all be going towards. Okay, let's look into the energy of what transpired recently, because a lot of people are saying that the like the incident in the Senate a few nights ago was staged, right? So I want to read into the energy of the shooting incident or the chaos in the Senate, and just read into that and see what went on there. Okay, so the first card that came out for it says here for 1-5 trust. Okay, so it's okay. I'm feeling that people are not sure where this is going, but they just said yes to this, right? Not sure. Like, this is a picture of, what does it say? Polynesian voyagers. They might not even have any idea if there is land beyond their land, right? But they set out on a quest, right? So they just trusted maybe their instinct or intuition and said, yeah, we can't be the only ones here. Let's go. Okay, let's keep it at that. The second card that came out is faith in the process. It says here, 41, I reduced that to 5. This is 32. I reduce it also to 5. So it's manifestation for me. Faith in the process. There's something in this visual that is unsettling to me, because it's like a grown person, almost a grown person, but they're riding on a very flimsy or made for children vehicle, and it feels like they're very exposed, right? It feels like they're very exposed, and like it feels like they're following like messages from the outside, right? And it feels like more than one. It's, yeah, more than one. And then the last card, it says here, revelations. Revelations. Like it's a girl on fire. Wow. 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 reminds me of like the disciples, like followers, and that kind of ties in with the people who trust, and then this very flimsy, they trust in something quite flimsy. A group of people trusting the unseen, gambling on a very flimsy okay. So this does not definitively say whether or not this process or this chaos was staged, or if it really happened, that it was just like a meeting of unfortunate circumstances. But there is a feeling of people trusting voices, trusting advice, not really seeing the end, the true end result or the true end goal, but just trusting. It's not even like, again, it's not even like solid. It was something that they just gambled on. It feels like it feels like a gamble, no? It's something that they just gambled on. Now I'm noticing when I put this Revelations card kind of farther from me, do you see that there's a volcano behind this woman? And the volcano is like, it's exploding. It's just exploding. I know you might be reading something into this. It feels, look, the whole landscape is falling apart. But this woman is standing her ground, keeping her composure and dignity, even though it feels like the world is ending. That the world is ending for her disciples. I'm not putting judgment, like if it's bad or good. I don't know if it's necessary for this woman to stay strong, or if it's her character to stay strong, or there's something deeper why she has to stay strong despite everything seemingly falling apart, and especially for the people who surround her. Okay, so I'm just going to go out on a limb. No, I won't. This is what they are saying. This is what the oracle cards are saying. Just you read into it what you want. That is my interpretation. There is a group of people, probably disciples or followers or those who believe in this person, and everything behind this person, around this person, is kind of falling apart. And they just, the followers simply trust, and it, even though the ground or the vehicle or it's quite flimsy already, there is some truth that it might be, the whole thing might be because, you know, it might be for this person, around this person. Okay. Okay. What should we, what energy, what group of people should we read into next? Okay, I want to read into the people involved, like the groups involved in the investigation process. Should we do that? No. Okay. Because they're saying this is already the energy of what is involved there, and everyone who is trying to get to the bottom of it will get to this conclusion sooner or later. Let's read into the impeachment trials, or should that be a totally separate video? Because we're kind of running. This is kind of a long video already. Okay, we'll stop here and I'll make another video that is dedicated only to the upcoming impending impeachment proceedings. Okay, I don't do this to create more separation. I really do this also for me to create a bit of clarity. There is so much noise around what has happened, political noise. It's so pervasive in our country, and sometimes when I focus in on the energy, things can become clearer. Not to say that we should demonize one side and make gods into the make gods of the other side. It's not like that. Everyone involved are human beings, and they are at the level they are in, at the level of development and growth that they are in. Everybody wants to have the right and freedom to live, to worship, to support the people they love, to have a country that you can be proud of. It's just that things happen, things get in the way, and we think we're still going towards that direction, and we all can get sidelined. And so I hope that in this reading, we're not trying to, discredit, dismiss, just to see what is happening energetically, and not really to place judgment, because all of these readings, they are the current state. They can shift, right? They can shift. People always change anyway. So yes, they can shift. There is always hope for me. There's always hope. Hang in there. Pray for our country. And I will see you soon in the next video.